Welcome back to the broadcast. When it comes to leading a happy life, minimizing stress can be the key. And here to talk more about that is Barb Schmidt. She's the author of a new book called The Practice, Simple Tools for Managing Stress. And managing is the key word. Finding inner peace and uncovering happiness.
Yes.
So the root of all stress is fear.
Fear, absolutely.
And so how do you fight fear?
The only way to fight fear is being able to confront it, being able to know that it's there, and then being able to release it.
And name it.
And name it,
and
absolutely.
say what it is.
Absolutely. And you don't, we're so busy in our world today, going. You know, we wouldn't come into a meeting, we wouldn't go in anywhere without planning. You have the beautiful wedding planner segment, we have to plan. But we don't check in with ourselves for our day. So we don't know what we're afraid of. We don't know what we're feeling. We don't know where we're looking to find this groundedness that's already within. So when we can connect with ourselves first thing, even for a couple of minutes, just to sit and be, we start uncovering little by little, I'm afraid of that, or I'm feeling this. We start to connect the mind and the body and the heart.
Do you remember when you had the first conversation with yourself?
The first conversation with myself was in when I was a young kid. Oh my gosh.
How did that go?
It was scary because my life was not great as a kid, and you'll see that in the book when you read the preface. I had a very difficult childhood, so I didn't want to be with myself. I tried to do everything in the external world to keep from coming inside and being with myself. So it wasn't when you read in the preface till I actually went through treatment in 1984 when I started to do some therapy and started really getting connected with myself and all of the things that I'd been burying for years that I was able to see.
And your anger.
My anger, my guilt, my sadness, everything that was inside of me was already there, but it needed to be unearthed. I needed to connect to it. I needed to be able to find a way to connect to it and then release it. We can't really release until we connect first.
Did you turn inward more, or did you connect spiritually more? How did you do it?
Well, for me, connecting spiritually is turning inward. For me, God or the light or the source or the beloved or Lord, all of that is within.
That lives within us.
That lives within us. So when I go inward, I am connecting within to that great deep source of strength and power and goodness and light. But I'm also connecting within with my fear and with my guilt and all of the things that make us up. So when you start to connect within, you get that out and you start to understand what's going on. And you've got that sense of strength within that you keep going. You're not afraid to keep going. You keep going because you start uncovering the happiness that I talk about.
All right. So you also have to do a thing called forgiveness.
Yes.
Which is very difficult for a lot of people to do because we become accustomed to hanging on to the old, somebody else made me do this thing.
Yes.
It was somebody else's fault that I'm unhappy.
Yes.
How did you reach down and pull that forgiveness out?
The greatest lesson I learned of forgiveness, and I've been doing this for 30 years, was on a retreat with the Dalai Lama.
Did you get to do that?
I did. I got to meet him personally. Someone asked him a question and said, Your Holiness, how can you forgive the Chinese for what they've done to you? And how do you forget? And in his beautiful, funny way, he said, I haven't forgotten, but I've forgiven. And it released me. I was trying to forget. I was trying to forgive the person or the incident and then find a way to still have lunch with them. Find a way to still keep them in my life. Find a way to me, forgiveness was I've got to forgive and then I still have to love them and still connect with them. Where when the Dalai Lama said that, I got it. I can connect within and love them, but I don't have to be with them.
You don't have to be with them.
Exactly. I didn't get that.
And that was liberating.
So freeing, I can't even tell you. The forgiveness happened so much quicker because I was able to say, okay, this happened, I've done this in my life, they've done this in their lives, but I was able to let it go because I didn't have to forget it. He went on to say, we teach children not to put their arm in a tiger's cage because we don't want them to forget not to put their arm in a tiger's cage. So he went on, it was beautiful.
You know how I loved Marianne Williamson, and we talked about the Course in Miracles, and Marianne Williams said something so profound, and it was so simple. When you're thinking of the one who wronged you or the pain, you just simply say, they're on channel 4 and I'm on channel 5.
Beautiful.
And it doesn't mean, it just means we're on different places in our lives.
Beautiful. And I love that. Marianne Williamson is one of my first teachers. And another thing that I always say is, another friend of mine, a deep good friend of mine, said, you can love them and bless them from afar.
That's right.
And I do that all the time
and
if there's someone.
Never, ever wish them ill.
No, because that's hurting you.
That's
hurting you and causing you stress. So.
Oh, listen, there's so much in
gosh.
this book, and this will just be a beginning for you to learn about Barb Schmidt. You can pick up a copy of her book wherever you buy your favorite reads. Look it up at our website, thebroadcasttv.com. We're back with more broadcasts right after this, and I sure enjoy it.